I have been listening patiently to the collective wisdom of my respected honorable colleagues who have articulated on this issue that the nation is seized by today. A lot of emotions are flowing on both sides, and we have a lot of activists outside who are agitating and asking for what they consider balance. Sir, to curtail the discussions on this bill, which are limited by time factors, as it must in Parliament, doesn't enable us to address all the dimensions and the nuances of what this will mean and how it will implicate society in the immediate future and for the youth of our nation. I've heard everyone talking about rape and the woman. Boys get raped as well. Men are victims of sexual assault as well. Perhaps this is the one field where this is not spoken about as much. It's quite hush-hush. The fact of the matter is that we are pondering on an issue where there is a very thin line between tipping over into an act of vengeance and keeping ourselves on the righteous path. How do we teach our children empathy? I'm glad we have HRD Minister here, because this is something that we have to encapsulate in schools. It has to start from our homes, as rightly said by some of our members. If a child is witness to the denigration of the mother's status in her home, where the man will drink and come and beat and violate her, burn her with cigarettes, he grows up believing that women are dispensable commodities, that we are extensions of their entertainment systems, that we are then denounced. That is denigration of women, where we have a law for that also, which is never applied and used. How many people have been arrested for denigration to the status of women? It's only in word. Now, when this happens and the child grows up in a society like that, we bring in a law, a legislation where we say we are discussing the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Bill. This bill is for children, not against them. Yes, we have an advanced knowledge today. There's an accelerated change, a telescoping of systems where the young are much more aware than we were in my generation. There is much more awareness. You have the internet. You're locked into the world whether you like it or not. The free availability and accessibility of pornography. Lack of knowledge and lack of sex education. Why do we turn into this country of prudes when it comes to sex education? Sex education is not asking children to go and have sex, but teaching them to be responsible for a biological act. We have to teach our children empathy, accountability. And unless they learned that, how are we going to bring about legislations that will address all of this? We are now talking about a bill. There are some concerns, several which have been spoken of by my respected colleagues, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence by repeating that. But there is a provision from the Act which has been omitted for separate treatment of juveniles on children suffering from leprosy, STD, sexually transmitted disease, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, or with unsound minds. Even those children are victimized. They're not left alone. They're not left alone by rapists or other people who pretend that they're part of our society. It also takes away a provision which is of concern to me, which is given to the competent authorities in special homes, the power to move such children who are suffering from this to a special facilities. So we've got to see that we can empower them and ensure. The other thing that would happen, sir, I want clarity on this, that what happens when, like in the Jyoti's case in December, where there was an adult and a juvenile involved. Who then, are there going to be two separate charge sheets for this crime if it's the juvenile and the adult? There are two people involved in this. So will the same judge who pronounced a verdict for the adult also address the juvenile? That is what are there going to be separate processes that will be adhered to? So I'm just concluding. We need to look at that, and what happens to children who are going out, minor children, and if the parents go and file a case against them for personal reasons or for differences with the girl or boy's family, if they're accused of rape, what happens? And also I'm reaching out to the minister, having been there and done that myself in that space.
All right.
We have to agree that our homes are really no different from the adult jails.
Okay, fine.
They're abysmally short of care and staff.
Now,
And
Honorable Minister.
if we can have a... sir, I'm concluding, sir.
No, please.
If collectively a curriculum is given to educational institutes and associative institutes whereby we do capacity building to raise a charge of psychologists, counselors, vocational guidance, which needs to be done. Thank you very much.
Two honourable members, Mr. Gujral has discussed with me also, and with the Honourable Minister and Mr. Derek O'Brien has raised this issue, that there is a dichotomy in this bill.